Money is a big part of life, and video games like Skyrim are not excluded from the seamlessly endless dump of usable currency. There's a lot of channels showing you intricate ways to become millionaires in Skyrim. But what if you already were a millionaire and had to spend every single gold coin? There are basically 3 ways you can spend money in Skyrim: on property, goods, and on services. Homer from the quite unknown and honestly underrated series The Simpsons said it the best.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
And he was right. Our Altmer character has to spend 1 million gold. He has to test out every method, can only use his destruction expertise for combat, and with 3 lives has to navigate through Skyrim on legendary difficulty. Will crazy spending be great for Skyrim's economy, or just result in a major disaster? Welcome to episode 2 of the series where we attempt to complete unique survival challenges designed specifically for each Skyrim race. We'll uncover their power, as well as their weaknesses. And in the grand finale, everything we've learned will come together in one ultimate challenge. Our long trip from Summerset Isles was pretty tiring, so we head to the nearest city, which is, in this case, Whiterun. And unlike the last challenge, where our Khajiit character was a wanted criminal, and basically couldn't walk into cities without getting hunted down, this playthrough is way more pleasant. Our challenges are in survival mode, which means we need to secure food and a place to sleep. And since it seems that we're quite welcomed by the locals, we can freely use Skyrim's inns to take care of our fatigue and buy drinks and food to sate our appetite. Our quest is to spend 1 million, so your first idea is probably to buy everything from Whiterun's stores.
Do just buy everything from Baldur. He's a wealthy vendor.
Okay. Baldur is quite a sleazebag, and I'd rather buy goods from more trusted vendors, but I wonder how much his goods are worth. Let's find out. He just made a little over 60,000 gold, which made him worth more than selling every stolen item in Whiterun. Trust me, I tested this. He's also probably going to be a target for the Thieves Guild, but hey, what do we care? I just know this was worth it, because our spending habits seem to attract the attention of Jarls.
Moving up in the world, eh?
The Jarl of Falkreath wants our help. Okay, we'll do this later. Now we have a different problem to solve. This is survival mode, so our carrying capacity is insufficient for the crazy amount of goods we have in our inventory, and we're super slow. This would honestly be too much even for a non-survival mode gameplay. We really need some storage. And I don't want to just place my precious stuff into a random chest.
Just buy a house.
I'm gonna buy a house. To solve our little problem, we need to head to Dragon's Reach. It's gonna take us like 3 to 5 business days with our current speed.
Talos is the true god of man, ascended from flesh to rule the realm of spirit.
Don't push it. It took 2 more years to walk up the stairs and around this horrendous statue, but we made it. And I also noticed that we bought Thalmor robes from Baldur. How did that happen? Well, I guess we'll be wearing those for combat then. But look, they even boost our destruction. Good job, Baldur, for having these nice pieces of clothing in your stock. There are 2 properties in Whiterun. The first is Breeze Home, a cute little house worth 5,000 gold. To get it, you have to become a Thane, which means you need to complete a fetch quest and kill a dragon, resulting in annoying dragons spawning all over the map. I don't want that, and this little shack is not worth it. Luckily, there's a much better second option, and that's the Tundra Homestead. This piece of property is by far the easiest to acquire. It's worth 7,500 gold, and it's exactly what we need. We can say bye-bye to the main questline and head out to the most tedious walk in history. General goods stores are amazing, because you get a bit of everything, which includes weapons, rare gems, but food as well. I mention this now, because we're gonna use them the most, and this trip takes too long. I can see our house. Tundra Homestead is a cozy little fully furnished settlement. We can admire a beautiful view of Whiterun, our cute little kitchen, and the children's room, which we probably won't use since our lady is far away at our home in Summerset. I need to get rid of this heavy trash. I'm storing the majority of the stuff in my chest. I placed some weapons on the walls, and we can also add our book collection on shelves. Perfect. Finally, we're free. We got a letter from the Jarl about 5 days ago. The fame of your exploits, I'm trying to read it in his voice. The fame of your exploits across Skyrim has brought you to my attention, blah blah blah, parcel. Okay, I'm literally just rich, but I guess that's enough for him to think I'm famous. Also, yeah, our name is Faelian, which A, could be the skooma guy from Oblivion, who mysteriously survived and is now a millionaire, or B, it's just a different Faelian. I guess you can decide in the comments. This guy will attack and kill me, so it's probably a good idea to walk around him. Anyways, our quest to spend money takes us to Falkreath, because there's an opportunity to own land and build ourselves a house. It's so refreshing to be able to socialize with people. I felt so alone in the previous challenge, and I completely forgot what it's like to be accepted by society. We've slept, filled our belly, and I'm not gonna make the same mistake as I did in episode 1. I'm gonna actually buy a backpack early this time. We're learning from our mistakes on this channel. The one with the stamina buff was helpful before, but the magic of fortification backpack is obviously a better choice for this character.
Steal anything from my shop and you'll regret it.
We look like a legit mage adventurer.
Ah, it's you. Yes, well, now we'll see if the stories about you are true. There's a group of
Great!
bandits in my
Slaughter.
home that I-
Our destination is a bandit camp, not far away from here. Oh look! There's also a prison on this map. Anyways, bandit camp. We're an experienced mage. I have a lot of destruction spells, but as of now, we can't cast the majority of them, because we just don't have enough magicka for it to be quick and efficient. We can test this right away. Oh. Hello. We're limited to destruction only in combat, which means I need to resort to potions once my stats are low. Even some basic spells cost us a lot. Undead seem to hate fire, so here you go. You know what they say, you can't spell slaughter without laughter. I expect the bandit camp to be a much harder fight. We're lucky the NPC AI has room temperature IQ. They just keep losing vision and walk into my spells.
Guess it's all clear now.
Oh hey, companions appeared? Help?
I swear, every wanderer who shows up in Whiterun looks weaker than the last.
The fight here went pretty well. I just dread what's about to happen. Our final enemy is a bandit boss, and he can one-shot me on legendary. Boom! It did nothing. We need to leave. I just hope I can outrun him outside. Come on, dude. I'm a frostbite this loser. Where is he? If I go back inside, will he just jump on me? No way. Somehow this idiot messed up his X, Y, and Z coordinates and spawned behind these bars. How unfortunate. Well, welcome to the Terror Dome. You know how sometimes you feel the urge to create a frost trap of endless pain and agony? He's super unlucky. Especially since I have perks that can paralyze his butt. Oh. Oh my god. Sad fate. For a sad bandit specimen. Pathetic.
I hereby grant you permission to purchase property in Falkreath Hold.
Anyways, our job here is done, and I can't wait to buy another property. A late trip to our house seems like a good idea, especially since we can admire the night sky. Again, I try not to fight when I don't need to, so I don't put myself at risk of dying. We can kill this spider though. What a nice piece of land. Lakeview is my favorite out of the 3 Hearthfire properties. Great weather, great view of the lake, haha get it, and some cool locations are pretty close by. Faelian built a basic house with his own 2 elven hands, but I wanted bigger, because size matters. I lack wood to make things bigger. I mentioned some cool locations nearby. One of these locations is a mill, run by a pretty sweet vampire. We can use the services this colorful and peaceful place offers to our advantage, and it's the reason why I wanted to buy Lakeview, and not a random city house. The property was worth 5k gold, which is the same as Breezehome, and I specifically said that that wasn't worth it. I don't want that, and this little shack is not worth it. But our lovely, sweet, and perfect vampire goddess can sell us lumber. And oh boy, am I gonna spend money on some lumber. Give me wood. I hope we have enough. I honestly lost count and kept clicking E on my keyboard. It's gonna be like 500 logs, I assume. Holy shit, over 1,000. Well, she certainly gave me wood. Not to mention all of that lumber to build a house. I built 2 towers, one for enchanting and one for books. Now, I don't expect to use them much, I just like to build stuff, but it seems like something an Altmer would like. Oh, we can build a shrine here as well. Oh, huh. Is that like a mistake or must be a... Very interesting. The last part of the house is still missing. I don't want a 3rd tower. Oh, this is perfect. We have a nice view, and I can calmly fall asleep knowing it's symmetrical. I want to buy more houses, this is fun. Markarth could actually be a great city to spend our gold in. Oh, murder. Okay. I suppose we need to find the Jarl, if we want to get closer to owning a house here.
My scouts have tracked down one of the Forsworn leaders, hiding out in their blood-soaked camps. Deal with them.
Before we head out, we should look around the city. Apart from murder, it's actually pretty nice here. Faelian loves to socialize, and as always, the inn is a perfect place for just that. Our next stop is a Forsworn camp, and those are really tough, especially on Legendary. So I'm gonna hire a guy to accompany us, and he can hopefully tank any incoming damage from enemies, while we shoot destruction spells in their faces. Meet Vorstag, our new servant, travel buddy. The general goods store in Markarth is loaded with amazing stock. I'll buy Faelian some food, and also replace Belethor's Thalmor robes with some better ones. These boost our destruction as well as our magicka regen. I'll buy Vorstag some better armor as well, so he can manage upcoming fights with more ease. Are you ready for an adventure? Yeah, as long as I don't get hit, we're really fine. Vorstag is an absolute beast. For some reason, he decided to be an archer. At the exact moment, we assaulted the camp, which sucks because I have to dodge everything now. Okay, good. We're ready to go inside this hole. I almost feel like a cave diver here. Ominous place, which can most likely be our doom. But unlike cave divers, we actually have a chance to survive this. There's an actual purpose to our adventure. And most importantly, this is a video game, and I'm not really risking my life by going inside unexplored and ridiculously dangerous claustrophobia-inducing locations. There are actual human beings who do this willingly. Nobody forces you to do this, dude. Nobody. A great tactic I tried on the bandits before, and a great tactic to use here as well, is to try and pick them one by one. Let Vorstag run at them, take all the damage, and use annoying spells like Frostbite to freeze them up and make them hard. They're pretty tanky on Legendary. I underestimated them. The Briarheart is going to be painful. Oh, f***. Okay. Vorstag needs to be up close. And that Forsworn Briarheart really hurts. Remember, I'm dependent on food and potions for healing in fights. And I didn't think I'd need to use as much as I did, especially since this guy uses a ridiculous staff. Luckily, our tactic worked, and Vorstag was even smart enough to pick up that staff to help me finish off the last remaining Forsworn. Ooh, yummy food. We have 2 lives remaining. The Jarl is here any minute now. Come on. Come on. Surprise! He was pretty happy, but we're not done here just yet, because I still can't buy property, and that's the reason why we came here in the first place. Stopping by the inn is probably a good idea. We need sleep, we need food, and we need it now. Faelian also noticed there's a Shrine of Talos in Markarth. Out of all the things in this city, this shrine is definitely one of them.
They took his shield to those Hargraven beasts they consort with. I need you to bring it home where it belongs.
Perfect, let's go. We're closer and closer to being allowed to buy property. I'm tired of walking everywhere, so I'm gonna buy a horse. And our quest to find a shield has just begun. The reach is dangerous, but with a horse as a ride, and a friend by our side, we're ready for anything. You gotta wait a bit. He's right behind us. There we go. Are you coming? I found a shrine here, look. And it's the Bella. Good. I'm just gonna dump a lot of my money here. Out of the 3, is this a service? I guess so. It's like a divine service I can pay for to get buffs and a cure. Okay, let's move along. I mentioned the reach was dangerous, but I didn't expect animals to follow me for so long. Luckily, we're fast, but still, what a nuisance. This is the place with the shield, and I think an attack at night is just perfect. Our usual tactic worked. Vorstag is an animal, and tanks damage like a pro. I have to eat some food, Jesus. Oh, f***. What does food poisoning mean? Well, unless we get a cure or wait 3 days, food doesn't heal us. And this sucks since we're in the middle of a fight. Holy moly. Okay, we made it. Close one. I wouldn't want to lose our second life like this. The shield is ours. Surprise! The Jarl forgave us for scaring him and allowed us to own a house in Markarth. Ooh! I don't much like the dwarven architecture, but I gotta admit, this house is cozy. You might have noticed a quest marker. Well, about that.
Ogmund the Scout. He's old, respected, and I know for a fact that he worships Talos in his home.
I mean, we are done here, but it can't hurt to help the people of Markarth, you know? Do a good deed. I just need to confiscate an amulet. Oh. Hello. See, it was a quick little quest.
This will be all I need to have Ogmund taken care of.
Ah, f***. We got paid for it. I'm probably the only person in Skyrim who's annoyed that he got paid for something. We're here to spend, and spend we shall. All of that is heavy, but we have a house close by, and we can just quickly store our stuff. Vorstag was a good little boy, and I decided to upgrade his gear. I think he should travel with us some more. I like him. We can say bye-bye to Markarth for now, and we'll attempt to buy the most expensive property in the game. We'll need to travel to a little town called Solitude. Dude, what a traitor. Ulfric f***ing sucks. Oh hey there, beautiful. Do you have stuff in your shop? Probably not for long. The trip was tiring as always, and we have to stick to tradition by socializing and taking care of our basic needs. I also got rid of the food poisoning. All you have to really do is pray at the right gods. Buy property in Solitude. We need to 1. Take care of a small problem in a cave, and 2. Take Torig's horn to a shrine of Talos. Listen, I'm not happy about this. The Wolf Queen Potema is fine, but this is just absurd. Skeletons are fine. Probably the weakest enemies in the game, right after skeevers. But what's next is going to be a lot tougher than a few bones patched together with glue and hope. This is legendary difficulty, and any damage we take is multiplied. Ooh, pa 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 pa. Any damage we take is multiplied. We have one last life because I just couldn't resist pushing a cart. And item collision deals damage. Amazing combination with legendary Skyrim. So stakes are high, and I'm too lazy to go back to Solitude to get more potions and food. So this cursed cave is our life now. Enemies are spellcasters and Draugr. Great, but there is hope. His name is Vorstag. This absolute unit tanks just about anything that comes his way. Now, I can't heal him since I can't use restoration in combat, but all I had to do was use our tactic and spread walls of frost or fire everywhere to zone out melee enemies. Vorstag tanks them all, and I hide behind walls to make sure I don't get hit by spellcasters and occasional archers. This surprisingly worked, and the damage Faelian deals is also pretty good, so I wasn't just letting him do all the work. All I really needed was for him to take on all of the enemy aggro. It was close a few times though. This cave is pretty tough. Still a better chance of survival than real-life cave diving. The summoners at the end are surprisingly easy, and their AI is dumb. They just stood there and gave me a great opportunity to try out the fireball spell. Yes! Again, there's no slaughter without laughter. Potema is gone for now, and honestly, not our problem anymore. What is our problem though, is the next task given by Elisif.
I would like you to take an item of his. A war horn handed down from his father, and place it at a shrine of Talos. Torig would want a proper burial, and this is the way Nords are buried in Skyrim.
Okay, I guess that's valid.
Thank you. It would mean a lot to me.
Kinda. It's not valid, but I can't just execute her. We can never go wrong with buying some more potions and food, especially for our trip to Whiterun. And the shrine is near our homestead. I love our human deity. Animals in the Reach were annoying, but Whiterun somehow decided that it hates me and sent an entire squad of random ass animals to hunt me down. Dude, come on. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I was lucky to outrun them and do the thing. Vorstag wasn't. Animals just kept on chasing him. He seemed to have a bigger problem with them than with those summoners. I'm too lazy to fight you guys, so I'm just gonna bait you to that watchtower. There we go. Problem solved. Elisif was happy, and we can finally purchase property in Skyrim's capital. This is a pretty expensive house for normal people.
Ha 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 ha, let's make fun of the working class.
But it's not a problem for us. Faelian makes sure the house is fully decorated, and we can go take a look. Nice and cozy. I can really feel the wealth we have from owning this house. Buying a big house in the capital of Skyrim, it doesn't get any better than this. I'm also gonna collect healing potions around the house. There seems to be quite a few here, and we're gonna need them. A house serves not only as a place for potential storage, but also as a place to enjoy cold Skyrim evenings and bask in the beauty of the night sky. Our trip to Solitude is almost over. I just took some pretty expensive lessons in communication, bought some more potions, and took a look around the Thalmor office. Nothing interesting to see here, to be honest. Just this big map of Skyrim. Hahaha, don't worry about it, guys. As of now, we spent 1/4 of our entire budget and tried out every money spending method in Skyrim. We bought goods, hired a new friend, and even bought and built a few properties, which also meant buying even more goods and services. We're in Riften because I want to buy one last house. It's not Honeyside, but the sanctum located in the Ratway, Riften's web of underground tunnels. All Faelian and Vorstag really have to do is clean out the Ratway from pests and filth. We also found out a ghost haunts these tunnels, and if we want to operate under Riften, the ghost has to go. Trouble seems to always find us, especially in some magical form, but Tema was just the beginning. Now we have to fight 3 blade ghosts. Faelian will enjoy this, for no reason whatsoever. As long as Vorstag tanks these fights, we're fine. I was just a bit surprised by those skeletons jumping on us in the last fight. The boss drops blade armor, and the quest reward is a super cool sword you might remember from Oblivion. Faelian won't use any of this, but it's a great upgrade for Vorstag. Now that the Ratway is all cleaned up, we can buy the Sanctum from Vekkel. I love doing business in the Ratway. The house is really cozy. We can also take Akatosh's blessing from his shrine to get some more magicka regen. The house also offers a quick escape from the city, which is neat. This outpost is gonna work amazingly for our Khajiit spies. I mean, for us, for our business in Riften. Buying some goods to fill our sanctum chest with supplies also seems like a good idea. I wanted to buy this sanctum for my Khajiit in episode 1, make this kinda his quick escape outpost, to maneuver around the Ratway and the city guards, but that didn't work out at all. Anyways, our business in Riften is concluded. Uh-oh. Thugs? Who would send thugs on us? We killed them pretty easily. I just wonder who sent them. Shavari. Thalmor agent. Wait, she's my employee. I mean, I don't know this stranger. Why would she hire thugs to f me up?
Dude, why didn't you buy the house in Windhelm? It's worth a lot of money and you could spend a lot on it.
That is indeed true, but the quest you need to complete before you're allowed to buy this property is a buggy mess. Plus, the location of this house sucks, and I don't want to live near Ulfric. Speaking of Windhelm, I wanted to try out more followers in this playthrough. I went to see Stenvar. He's a Nord warrior for hire, just like Vorstag, and enjoys the company of folk passing by the Windhelm Inn. I decided the hassle of giving him Vorstag's gear was not worth it, so I'm keeping Vorstag. The plan was to get an Altmer follower. He'd follow us for the immersion, and could give our main character a worthy friend. But there's 0 Altmer followers in the game. Well, there is one, Orthorn. He's in that one College of Winterhold quest, but that doesn't count. I'm not gonna buy more servants. I'd rather spend money elsewhere. A great type of service we can pay for was shown a few minutes back. I plan not only to spend money, but also to make our character strong, and fully capable of withstanding the fury of legendary Skyrim. Our journey is not over yet. We have level 20, that's thanks to our destruction skill and some skills we acquired along the way. I don't think that's enough. I'm leveling up my communication skills because it's expensive, but let's talk about speech. The speech skill tree is a big part of trading, so you might think it's a good idea to use the investor perk and to spend some money on store investments. I honestly thought about adding this perk to the video. The haggling perk makes deals cheaper, but is it worth activating to be able to be an investor? Honestly, no. There are simply not enough merchants for this to be worth it. There's only a handful of vendors who let you invest in their shop, and in terms of spending, it's just better to buy more goods than giving people money for having a shop. That's why I didn't use the speech perks. We can still level up. Our mage character can't forget to visit the College of Winterhold. It's absolutely paramount because I want to upgrade our robes to the master level. I want to make our character OP. Our Khajiit was kinda lacking that power in the last episode, so I want to make up for it. Master level destruction robes are sold by Feralda, and it seems we need level 34 to achieve this. I also bought some anniversary spells like Elemental Blast and some spells which let us absorb health. These are cheap and overpowered. Dude, she just has to cast Mage Light in this little pool. How can you miss? Dude, what are you doing? Am I a pool? We're lucky with the leveling. There are a lot of skill trainers around, so leveling faster is easier, especially since we can pay for lessons. We're forbidden to use destruction in combat, but boosting skills to level up is allowed. Perfect. I will pay for conjuration and illusion training. This is survival, so I need to sleep to level up. No problem. There's a bed I can use here. There's also a fast method to level up conjuration. All you need to do is get a soul trap spell and spam cast it on a corpse. Again, this is allowed for this challenge, since it's not combat. Okay, we should be ready. Feralda has our master robes in stock. Perfect. And it seems there's a courier here as well. Funny. I don't care about this quest, but I was just about to travel to Windhelm. There's no carriage in Winterhold, so we have to use our horse. We're also a target for assassins now. We don't need anything in Windhelm really, just a boat to travel with.
Well, here we are. Welcome to Ravenrock.
With new robes and spells, I felt confident to find a new vendor. A vendor who can supply us with very expensive gear. And it's not Delvin. Let's just say we need to find him. Oh, I hate Spriggans. That was so close. We're here. This dungeon is filled with weaklings. Elemental Blast should do the trick. We're closer and closer to our vendor. Yeah, Apocrypha is Hermaeus' domain. Everything here is hostile, and Vorstag can follow us to this place. You can now see why I wanted to buff Faelian. We're all alone for this little adventure. There are two types of enemies here, Seekers and Lurkers. Seekers are okay, as long as you dodge every single hit. Lurkers are worse because they're melee. Lucky for us, their AI is stupid and they don't follow us too far. So Faelian can hit the Lurker with a spell, run away, and then do this over and over until he's dead. To find our vendor, we need to activate the Black Market ability, which lets us summon him from the depths of Oblivion. I wanted to give us this option for one simple reason. The guy sells new and expensive gear every 2 days, and we can summon him anywhere. Once Vorstag stops walking in slow motion, our spending is about to get pretty crazy. For Faelian to become a god, we need to make better gear. To make better gear, we need to enhance our enchanting. To level up enchanting, we need to buy tons of items and disenchant them. And we're really good at buying items. Our funds are almost depleted, and seeing Faelian spending so much money on everything makes me think we need to talk about something. Inflation.
And tackling inflation.
Inflation is back.
CPI, inflation data.
Own form of inflation, US inflation report.
You see this term being used everywhere, and our extreme spending habits can go unnoticed in Skyrim's economy. But how does it work? Imagine a vendor. Let's just say he sells armor, each for 100 gold. This is great for him, since the cost of him buying ingots and smithing the armor is pretty low. His customers are happy, and he only needs to make these 4 chest plates a day. But now a certain part of society / a certain handsome Altmer comes along and buys out a ton of his stuff because they can afford it. The whole group, or the Altmer, buys way more than the vendor expected, which was 4 chest plates. The store owner can now either create a cap on the amount he sells, but that's not gonna happen since he sees people want to buy his stuff. He needs to make more chest plates, thus needs to spend more time and resources making them. What is the best thing he can do to make his business work? He raises his prices to compensate. Now, each armor is not worth 100 gold, but say 500. And what we could have bought for 100 is just 1/5 of what we can buy now. Our gold coin has been devalued. That's inflation. Now, this problem is really simplified for the sake of this video, but you get the point. The cost of items could naturally decrease if people couldn't afford them, but there are people who can afford them, and they won't just stop buying. Prices for every type of good go up. Common folks' earnings remain the same. We can see ultra-wealthy merchants forced by Jarls to set daily limits on purchases. Jarls try to impose higher taxation for wealthy residents, or even seize excess gold from the rich by force or legal decree. Do Jarls even have power? They probably can't afford to pay guards. Even with huge property taxes or fees on higher value purchases, people can't afford to pay for food, much less order an assassination. Contracts for the Dark Brotherhood become too expensive, making the members unemployed. Black markets emerge. Merchants are targeted by the Thieves Guild, so they hire guards and mercenaries to protect them. Now they're basically the new Jarls. They're also the only ones who can buy property. Breeze home for 5,000 gold? Forget it. This cozy resident in the middle of a city, the property is valued at 25k gold now, which is the same cost as our most expensive house. Proudspire's value has gone up to 125k gold. And that's without furnishings. People can't afford to live anywhere, and the cost of living is at an all-time high. Oh, whoops, wrong map. How did that happen? There are more beggars on the streets, and the crime rate goes up. They could ban us from buying goods, but nah, they want the money. And we're the only person capable of buying out their stock at this point. To hire a servant, you need 2,500 gold. Priests are now guilt-tripping travelers from different provinces to give crazy donations and buy expensive healing potions. Ulfric smells funny, and nobody's taxes can finance the military. But that's just a bit too negative. Look, I enchanted all of our gear, and thanks to some enchantments, destruction spells cost us 0 to cast. Let's test this out. Holy moly. No limit to elemental blast, plus we don't have to use potions as much, since we have unlimited health absorption as well. I also activated the Lady Stone to get some sweet health and stamina regen. Don't worry, we'll put this to good use. We spent our last gold coins on our Dremora friend. He wasn't hit by inflation, the realm of Oblivion has a different economy. That was 1 million. We purchased expensive properties, and so much lumber you could build an entire new city. Bought all goods from almost every wealthy vendor in Skyrim, so much so we could disenchant tons of gear and enchant our own. Hired a friend to protect us, purchased tutors to teach us tons of applicable skills, and now took care of some annoying NPCs.
We've got nothing to talk about.
You will talk. In episode 1, we fought our biggest rival, a saber cat. I thought I'd end this episode in a bang, and challenge someone who supposedly hates my kind with a passion. We'll fight him in a special location. With the economy being in shambles, it was really easy to just take and imprison him. I'm gonna enjoy this. Is he down? Nice. That'll teach you. With our dominance asserted, Faelian has accomplished everything he wanted. He spent all of his money, became overpowered, gave some information to his Altmer friends, and with Vorstag by his side, heads back to Summerset to reunite with his beautiful wife. Perfect ending to a perfect story.